Short Vort on Parshas Vayishlach. This week's Parsha, we learn about the much-anticipated reunion between Yaakov and Esav, and Yaakov sends a message to Esav before their meeting that says, "In Lavan Garti," which literally translates to as "with Lavan," aka our mother's brother, I have dwelled. Now, the word Garti that's used in the message has the gematria of 613, and our rabbis tell us that the message that Yaakov was really sending to Esav is that while I lived with our uncle, I kept 613 mitzvahs. So we can ask some questions on this, which one is that even a true statement? I mean, wasn't Yaakov at that time when he was with Lavan, his uncle, not living with his parents at all? And we know that there's a mitzvah of honoring parents, so obviously he wasn't doing that when he was living with Lavan. And another mitzvah is living in the land of Israel. Living in the land of Israel itself is a mitzvah, and there are other mitzvahs that are associated with living in the land of Israel, certain like agricultural mitzvahs and stuff. So obviously he couldn't have been doing any of those mitzvahs while he was living with Lavan. So how could he utter the statement that I was shomer, I kept 613 mitzvahs? And the second question is, why on earth would Esav care? Esav's not so much in the mitzvahs, right? Like, he's not going to care that Yaakov was keeping 613 mitzvahs with Lavan. So the Chassam Sofer gives us an answer to help us understand these questions, which is that the word that Rashi and the Medrash they use is like shomer, which means like literally to guard. Yet in certain instances, it has kind of a different connotation. So for example, if we look in the parsha that talks about Yosef and his dreams, we find that Yaakov became aware of Yosef's dreams, and the pasuk says that Yaakov was shamar es hadavar, which Rashi literally translates as meaning as his father waited with anticipation and hoping that his son's prophecy would come true. Meaning that it means more than just to guard, it means like anticipation and longing. And if you apply the same thing over here, what you find is that Yaakov was telling Lavan that even though I wasn't able to do 613 mitzvahs because of the situation that I was in, because if he was doing 613 mitzvahs, it wouldn't have said the word shomer, which means literally to guard, and another meaning which we'll talk about in a second, it would have used the word mekayem, to fulfill. So he didn't say I fulfilled 613 mitzvahs, he says I was shomer. And the word shomer doesn't mean just guard or watch. It also means to long and to hope and to desire. And that rectifies our original problem, right? Because we said that how could he have kept the 613 mitzvahs? He never said mekayem. He never said I did 613 mitzvahs. He said I had a longing to do the 613 mitzvahs. Okay, but so if we end up in the same place, right? Why would Esav care that Yaakov has a yearning to do 613 mitzvahs? So the answer to this we can find in another pasuk that says Hakol kol Yaakov ve'yadayim yedei Esav. And the Sefer Mor V'Shamash says, look at the pasuk, the first Hakol, though no vav in it, in the vowelization. So it could be read as if it says Hakal kol Yaakov v'yadayim yedei Esav, which literally means that Hakal, when Yaakov's voice, Hakal kol Yaakov, when his voice is weak, uninspired, without longing and yearning, v'yadayim yedei Esav, then Esav has strength and hands. So what Yaakov, based on this verse, was trying to tell Esav was that even though I wasn't able to do 613 mitzvahs, I was still shomer, which means that I still had a longing and desire in my avodas Hashem. I longed to do the mitzvahs. I was looking forward to doing them. And because of that, I've still been inspired this whole time. And Hashem says that when a Jew has love and inspiration towards Hashem, even if he's not able to do the 613 mitzvahs, he's still in Hashem's favor. And while we are in Hashem's favor, we do not have to worry about you, Esav. So don't think about starting up with me. I know that you've brought this humongous army, but don't think about starting up with me, because I'm still in Hashem's favor, because I still serve him with a longing. And we have to think about this and what the meaning of the word shomer means, because we're going to use this word all the time throughout our lives. We describe ourselves as shomer kashers, as shomer shabbos, as shomer mitzvahs. And yes, we have to guard those things and make sure we don't eat like tray food. But we also have to long. You have to think about, what does it mean to be shomer in the other sense of the word, to have longing and desire of these things? So let us ponder this over Shabbos, and we'll share some of our ideas maybe one day with one another of what this could really mean. Have a great Shabbos.